Ebenezer Jeremiah Brown. I'm a football supporter of Ipswich Town. Wherever they play, you'll find me. I haven't missed a game since I was 3. With me scarf and me rattle and a big rosette, singing where was the goalie when the ball was in the net. Follow the town, up or down. I'm Edward Ebenezer Jeremiah Brown, but everybody call me Ted.
Hello and welcome to a rather impromptu episode of We Follow the Town, a We Follow the Town special. So special that I forgot to pull my microphone up to my face. But anyway, let's get cracking, because today we are talking about our new takeover. Brett M. Johnson has taken over. We have a new chairman as well in Mike O'Leary, and we're all very, very happy about that. But before we get on to today's show, I need to mention our sponsor. Old Joe's Golf and Julian Hughes, they offer golf lessons, fantastic golf lessons. So if you're just starting out on your golfing journey or you are an advanced player, do get in touch with Julian Hughes. He can help you. He can offer you world-class coaching. You can contact him through 07392 834 199. I'm going to repeat that again, 07392 834 199. But anyway, back onto the show, and if anybody's in the chat, feel free to get involved. The StreamYard link is up on Twitter, but Luke is here to talk us through the takeover. First of all, Luke, how are you? And we were talking before the show about the fact that the takeover won't be in this year's Football Manager 21. So how are you feeling about that?
It's disappointing, but I can wait till 22. I can wait till 22 to do it, but it's finally happened. It's finally happened.
Finally happened. I don't think anybody was expecting it because, I didn't plan on recording a show today. This show is very much out of the blue because, I thought the takeover was more or less off. And if you listen to our last podcast, everybody said, I think we all said in the chat that, okay, this takeover is not going to happen. A lot of it is just empty talk. So how surprised are you that this takeover, seemingly again out of the blue, has happened?
I wasn't too surprised. I think I had a few people tell me some stuff. So, and also with the training ground, all that land registry stuff, there's no smoke without fire. And you wouldn't Evans wouldn't sell that if he wants it in the club, because that's the only thing worth any value really of a club. Ipswich don't own their stadium, so you don't really have anything else of value. And it's not, like I said, it's not like I said while watching Talking Town earlier. It's not a sweet shop transaction. Business takes time. There's more often than not some sort of mess up, something happens. It will take time. This happened for a year, and you think about it, we didn't know about it till about a month ago, 2 months ago. About 2 months ago, we're going for 10 months before we knew about it. So, in the grand scheme of things, it's nothing really, no real delay, but it just seems a long time.
So, okay, we'll talk more about the actual takeover later on. But do you reckon that the new owners will actually buy Portman Road? Because as you mentioned, the stadium is owned by the council. It would probably be quite a big thing to buy if you're the owner. So could you maybe see that happening in the future?
I actually had this discussion with my brother. We were discussing about this, and they were saying obviously, if Portman Road is, let's be honest here, it needs a bit of TLC. It's the interlock, very dated, and we were saying like Brett M. Johnson is a real estate he's a real estater. He knows what he's doing, and I'm not saying he would, but I would say it's pretty cheaper for him to forget about Portman Road, get build a brand new stadium, rather than do it at Portman Road. I don't think it will happen because there's not a lot of land around Ipswich to build the stadium. Even if it's kind of outskirts, is what seems to be popular nowadays. But do you think of your new stadium will have a new like shopping village, a hotel, and that would be the sort of thing they would do. You can't really think anywhere around Ipswich to do so. But I do think we're making build a new training ground because that Playford Road is worth millions and millions and millions. So them houses down that road sell for a fortune. So I wouldn't be surprised if
So, okay, like you talked about Playford Road being worth a fortune. Now, let's talk about how much of an asset the actual football club is to the new owners, because they actually bought it for a relatively cheap amount, 40 million.
Yeah,
So, do you reckon that this is actually the football club itself is a real asset to Brett M. Johnson and co? Because surely there's profit to be made in this football club.
there's profit to be made, but the key thing is everything in the Premier League or not? Because I mean, I don't think anyone shouldn't be stupid enough to think he's going to be long term. They're not. They are here to get his in the Premier League, keep him up for a couple of years, and then sell them on for ridiculous profit. That's the whole aim. I don't think anyone. I think people know that. But if you do it right, you can definitely make a profit out of this. At 40 million, how much is the Premier League worth nowadays? Oh, get
Billions.
millions in TV deals alone.
Yeah.
Like, they will make a bomb if they get acts in the Premier League. But it remains to be seen if it will happen yet.
Now, okay, let's briefly talk, and I'm going to get so much hate for saying this. Let's talk about Norwich, because they have the perfect structure for a football club. You know, like you saw what they did last night, and you see how good they are at the moment. Apologies, Ipswich fans, but could we maybe do a scum? I'm trying not to say the word Norwich. Could we maybe, you know, like copy what they've done, copy the system and the model that they've kind of like put and evolved in their football club, if that makes sense, and get promoted?
I mean, I'm not too familiar with Norwich. Is it like an American one?
Norwich.
Yeah. Is it like the American system where you have a director of football and bits that?
Yeah, basically, and they have a director of transfers as well. Basically, a director of football, more or less, who basically, you know, is in charge of the transfers. They don't spend a lot of money, and they didn't spend any money last year when they were in the Premier League. But in a way, that's a blessing in disguise because it's allowed all the young players, more or less, to kind of like evolve to become better. And look where they are now. So,
I mean, I don't think we'll follow the Norwich route entirely. I think these will spend some money because, I mean, they were trying to get Phoenix in the MLS, which, for the record, if you guys don't know, the average price to get in there at the moment is about $450 million. So it's not a cheap way to get into. But I do think we'll see a lot of restructuring going on. You'll see a lot of like new boards coming out. We'll see a lot of people going. Is Dave Barman still here? Is he still got a job here? I don't know. I don't think if he has, he won't be gone 10 of the season. I don't think. You see a lot of like Leon Neal. Will he be here end of the season? Is he still there? No, with no mention of him in the statement. So there's a lot what remains to be seen at the moment.
So, do you reckon, because Leo Neal, and you just mentioned him, I'm not a big fan of Leo Neal. I reckon from a PR point of view, he's been an absolute disaster for the club. I'm not sure what he's actually good at, because you have people at the club, you have people at football clubs who are good at certain things. So at Norwich, their director of football, I don't know his name, but he's good at finding young talent.
Yeah.
But Leo Neal, he isn't a football. He isn't a football man, and apologies for keeping you on hold because I know you have a pizza. Leo Neal, he's not a football man, so what is he actually good at?
Well, that remains to be seen. Now I've got to go now. Sorry, my pieces here. They shouldn't be now.
Okay, here's a question. Okay, so if Leo Neal gets sacked by the club, would he make a good pizza man? Because he's not good at anything. Maybe he's good at making pizzas.
Maybe he is. Maybe what you do on Neil's pizzas.
Neil's pizzas, absolutely perfect. Get Marcus Evans there as well. You can maybe get 5% of the
band
business.
Back together. Get the old band back together.
Okay, so back to the original question. Do you reckon that basically that Leo Neal, do you reckon he'll get a job or keep the job with the new owners?
He's not going to have a job he's got now. That's for sure. He's not going to be that powerful because he gets woefully out his depth. I do genuinely think he has a job there for him somewhere, but he can't. He's not going to have that job anymore. What he's got at the moment, he's running the club because he just not got the experience for it. But other than that, a lot remains to be seen.
Okay, so one last question before I let you go, and I'll stay on for a bit afterwards to see whether anybody else wants to join us. We'll have a look at the quotes and we'll dissect them. Okay, one last question. Okay, so Mike O'Leary is the new chairman, and he used to be chairman of West Bromwich Albion. Do you have faith that he knows what he's doing at the football club?
I think he's a football person. That's important, and I don't think you get anywhere. I don't think you become West Brom CEO, Football League CEO, if you're not going to do what you do. So I'm quite confident. I think also he's surrounded by football people, ownership. Bretton Johnson's got numerous clubs. He's got Phoenix Rising. He's got a club in Denmark. They're not new to this thing. So I think everything will be fine.
So again, thank you very much for joining the show. Sorry if this is a little bit out of the blue. Again, this is very much an impromptu show. And again, thank you very much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Now.
Yeah, enjoy it.
All right, see you later.
I'm jealous. See ya. And that is Luke Hume, and thank you very much for joining us again, because again, this is very much a random show, a show out of the blue. So let's talk about Mike O'Leary's comments, because Mike O'Leary very much made a statement earlier. He was talking with Ipswich Town, and here is what he told I Follow Ipswich. Ipswich Town has a fantastic heritage. It's a fabulous club, and I can remember from my early youth the success that they had. They had two of the greatest managers in football ever seen, Sir Alf Ramsey and Sir Bobby Robson. And it's crazy that a club of this size is in League One. We are here to help the club climb up the football pyramid, and promotion to the Championship as soon as possible is the immediate aim. It's possible this season, but if it takes another year or so, so be it. So the question I want to ask those of you who are watching is, should we maybe be a bit more ambitious than that? Because the, okay, so be it kind of mentality is, in my opinion, a tiny bit unambitious, because in my opinion, we should maybe be a little more ambitious and aim for the very highest. So, yeah, I reckon that's the perfect place to end it, to be honest. We might go live again later on if we have anybody who wants to join us. So keep your eyes peeled for that. There might be multiple videos coming out during the day. And again, thank you very much to those who've joined. And apologies if the show is a little bit out of the blue. This won't be uploaded to iTunes. This will very much be an exclusive to this channel, to my YouTube channel. So yeah, take a look at our previous videos. We did a Bristol Rovers review the other day. That was a cracking talk. Not a Bristol Rovers, a Rochdale review, sorry. Apologies for that, where we talked about the Rochdale game. And we also had an interview with Lee Norfolk the other week. So take a look at that. There are plenty of videos on the channel to watch. We might be back later, depending on what happens. Fingers crossed we'll be back later. So yeah, keep following the town, and thank you very much for tuning in.